亲爱的选民，大家晚上好。Good evening, voters of the East. The PAP says this election is about the future. That is at least one thing I agree with the PAP about. And tonight, I'd like to talk about the future. The future of the Workers' Party, the future of the PAP, and the future of the people of Singapore. First, the future of the Workers' Party. The future of the Workers' Party is in the hands of the young people sitting behind me. I am 50 years old this year, and certainly not young. And even older are Peng Eng Huat, Chen Shou Mao, and last but not least, Mr. Lau Tia Kiang. Among the young, some have just had one term as elected MPs. Pritam Singh, Faisal Manap, Lee Li Lian. Only 3 elected MPs and 1 NCMP, Gerald Giam. It takes a great deal of energy to be an MP. It is not the meet the people sessions or the walkabouts or the work we do in the town councils for the residents. Those things energize us because it's what we're here for. What can sap our energy is the constant nonsense from the PAP. So, we need young people to come in, learn and take over. Young people need to come in, learn the ropes, run town councils, speak in parliament, and deal with the PAP. So please, give our young candidates your vote. Can I ask all those behind me who are below 50 to stand up? Voters of Singapore, this is the future of the Workers' Party. Please give them your vote. The Workers' Party needs the support of the voters of East Coast and Fengshan to reinforce and renew the ranks of our party in Parliament. Each of our candidates standing here, Gerald Giam, Leon Pereira, Daniel Goh, Fairoz Sharif and Dennis Tan, is young, dedicated and promising. But why does Singapore need any opposition to be in Parliament and to run town councils at all? That brings me to my next point, the future of the PAP. Emeritus Senior Minister Goh Chok Tong said that having the opposition as a check and balance is a seductive lie. Referring to the PAP, he said, "We are our own checks." Actually, his is the more seductive lie. Can the current leaders of the PAP assure Singaporeans that future PAP leaders will always be good for Singapore? Nobody can give any assurance of what future leaders will be like. And there is a simple reason why. Parties are made up of people. When the people change, the party can change. In the initial phase of nation building, Singaporeans widely respected the PAP leaders, and the late Mr. Lee Kuan Yew was treated as equivalent to a god. My late grandmother, who was illiterate and spoke mainly in Hokkien, had only one mantra in her life. Tao Li Gong Yao Zi Piu, Wanang Pato Bui Yao, Chut Jip Peng An. My father, a former army pioneer, has pictures of former PM Lee visiting army camps on Sundays, updating himself on the latest developments before family outings, dressed in shorts. Is the PAP still the same today? The PAP has been in power for so long, they take it as their right. When their new potential office holders are not elected, they scold us. They have forgotten who is boss. We Singaporeans are partly to blame for this. When a minister visits an estate or a sports facility, people are assigned to clean up, repaint, bring in potted plants, and above all, make sure that his luxury car is parked at a reserved car park lot and guarded at all times. When MPs visit homes, PA grassroots leaders would advise them to skip certain households that do not support the PAP, giving them a skewed view of public feedback. If the PAP continues to be the only party who can rule Singapore, Singaporeans will be stuck with whoever the PAP can find to join its ranks. Are you satisfied with every one of our cabinet ministers today? Many of them are standing for re-election, and our poor former Prime Minister can't even retire. What would happen if future leaders of the PAP turn out to be corrupt or self-serving? The only way for Singaporeans to protect ourselves is to buy an insurance policy. Build up another party who can take over if the PAP fails. Safeguards have to be built in when things are stable. It will be too late to do anything if things go wrong in future. And that brings me to my third point, your future. Your future will remain secure and Singapore will remain stable, even if there are 28 Workers' Party MPs in Parliament. "28 out of 89 seats only amounts to 31%, giving the PAP a very clear majority of nearly 70% to avoid political gridlock. ESM Goh Chok Tong has tried to scare voters into thinking that Singapore will be unstable if more opposition MPs are voted in. Many countries have broad representation in their parliaments, are yet not unstable. Canada, Australia, Japan, the Scandinavian countries, and many other countries in Europe have free and well-developed political parties of all stripes in parliament. The PAP loves to group Singapore with such countries when talking about successes. Why shouldn't we be in the same group in political diversity? New Zealand has a population similar in size to Singapore. It has its challenges too, being isolated in the South Pacific Ocean. The New Zealand Parliament has members from a range of parties. Does anyone think of New Zealand as being unstable? In fact, there are more and more Singaporeans choosing to live and study in New Zealand. Stability does not come from bullying. Stability does not come from control. And stability certainly does not come from suing those who criticize you. Stability comes from having a society where everyone can stand up and be counted. The PAP has got it wrong. With diverse political representation, Singapore will not be weaker. We will be stronger. So, voters of the East, look to the future. Look to a new dawn. At daybreak, the blue sky can first be seen in the east. Empower your future. Vote for the Workers' Party.